So I've got to ask the question, are we getting Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee at Takeover 30? What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac if you will. And today we are discussing NXT. We had a fairly decent show with a massive brawl, a very chaotic ending. So stick around to hear everything that happened out of NXT this week. Right here at WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the channel for you, make sure you click the subscribe button and make sure you also click the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into the review. So I'm going to start my review from the chaotic ending that I described in the introduction to this video. We actually were having a tag team championship match, Imperium versus Undisputed Era. A long time coming, I would say. Obviously, the pandemic has kind of put a pause on things. The tag team division isn't quite what it used to be on NXT either. But this was probably one of the first times in recent months we had seen the tag team of Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish in such a high profile match, tag team championship match against Imperium. Going a bit back in the story, Pat McAfee, that had obviously had words in recent weeks with Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era, was on commentary. He was actually on commentary from before Tegan Knox versus Indy Hartwell, and I found him really distracting. I know they were talking a lot about him and Adam Cole and that they've now buried the hatchet, so to speak, but coming across on commentary during the Undisputed Era and Imperium match, it really didn't seem like they had buried anything, because Adam Cole was ringside minding his own business and being really mature, to be honest, especially from Adam Cole. And Pat McAfee was literally running up his mouth on commentary to Tom Phillips. Really distracting, really building, I guess, his new heel persona. Literally, as the match was going on, the tag team championship match, he was just going on and on about Undisputed Era, how they help Adam Cole, how short Adam Cole is, how small Adam Cole is, how Adam Cole couldn't do it without the Undisputed Era. And they were letting us know that Adam Cole can hear Pat McAfee, but you know, he is ignoring him. He's just getting on with it, watching his boys in the ring in their tag team championship match. Pat kept going and going and going on commentary until Adam Cole left where he was standing ringside to go and speak to Pat McAfee and told him, listen, I can hear what you're saying, put a sock in it. Basically, he told him to shut up and keep his name out of his mouth. Pat McAfee said he was joking and stuff like that. Adam Cole said it wasn't funny. Pat McAfee continued. Adam Cole picked up a bottle of water and sprayed it at Pat McAfee. They stood up and had a bit of a pull-apart brawl where at this point referees started getting involved. Shawn Michaels and Triple H even left, I guess, gorilla position to come down and separate these two. Pat McAfee looked like he had been escorted away by one of the referees when all of a sudden he kind of darted back, and as Adam Cole was coming across the commentary table to come and confront him, Pat McAfee delivered what seemed like a relatively hard kick to Adam Cole's chest, and Adam Cole was laid out flat on the commentary table, fell onto the floor. Triple H lost it, completely lost it, like this wasn't actually meant to happen. He sold it so well. He got right up in Pat McAfee's face, pushed him a couple times, told him to get out of the arena. And Triple H really looked like this was someone that had basically attacked his son, attacked one of his own. That's how he took it, and that's definitely how he sold it. It was brilliant. And Pat McAfee was escorted out of the arena properly this time. So I've got to ask the question, are we getting Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee at Takeover 30? I'm guessing this will be Pat McAfee's in-ring debut. To be honest, it's not what I want to see, but I guess Adam Cole has done everything on NXT. There isn't much left for him to do, and I would like to think if they are going to have this match, Adam Cole is going to win, unless Pat McAfee is going to be transitioning into an in-ring competitor. I think he done really well in this segment to annoy everyone. I think it became very obvious he was trying to get heel heat, And I think he accomplished that because he was getting on my nerves, that's for sure. So yeah, I don't know if he wants to transition into an in-ring competitor, but it does look like we are going to get Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee at Takeover 30. What are your thoughts on this prospective match? Put it down below in the comments. So before we get into the review and results of the remaining parts of the show, guys, if you are enjoying today's review, please make sure you leave a like and spread the word of this channel, WrestleManiac UK. Leaving a thumbs up does massive work for this channel and I thoroughly appreciate it. Like I always say, thank you guys so much for your support. To kick off the show, we had the #1 contenders match for the women's title, Rhea Ripley versus Dakota Kai, and this was a really tough match to kind of predict which way it was going to go. I couldn't tell you before the match. Rhea Ripley, somehow the strong favourite, I guess off the back of her past accolades, but Dakota Kai has really been putting in work in recent weeks. My main question going into this match is, what has happened to Raquel Gonzalez, the #2 in the ranks of Dakota Kai? We haven't seen her in recent weeks. Have the NXT higher-ups decided to, maybe this wasn't really doing much for Dakota Kai, or they wanted to see Dakota Kai go at this alone, and maybe they've got something else in mind for Raquel Gonzalez? I thought the dynamic was really working well, but it looks like they have completely scrapped those two being together. Rhea Ripley was dominant for large parts of this match, and it was looking at a time it was going to take something special to get Dakota Kai the win. And that something special did come in the shape of Mercedes Martinez, who ran up on the apron when the referee wasn't looking and delivered a boot to Rhea Ripley. From there, Dakota Kai picked up the remainings and got the win and is the #1 contender and will be taking on Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship at Takeover 30. Massive match for Dakota Kai. I would expect Io to still retain there, but I think it's brilliant that Dakota Kai is getting this platform. She deserves it. She's put in a lot of work over recent years. Obviously, Mercedes Martinez involvement is from Rhea Ripley turning down the Robert Stone brand in past weeks, so I guess she's going to get back into a little thing with the Robert Stone brand, more importantly Mercedes Martinez. To follow, we had Bronson Reed versus Shane Thorne. As Shane Thorne came out, I was like, man, how the mighty have fallen. Who remembers Shane Thorne from TM61? Like, he was so good in that tag team, and now I know he was with Brendan Vink. Apparently WWE have big plans for Brendan Vink. He might be on the main roster soon, so even now, it looks like he's lost his tag team partner. But yeah, Shane Thorpe has immense talent, and it's disappointing to just see him fading around and not really have much to do. Bronson Reed beat him here in a really good performance. Obviously, Bronson Reed is going in the ladder match at NXT Takeover 30 for the North American Championship. So this is building him up nicely. And yeah, he got the win here against Shane Thorne. Talking about the North American Championship ladder match that's going to happen at NXT Takeover 30, we had Damian Priest versus Oney Lorcan versus the debuting Ridge Holland in a triple threat match. And as the match started off, you just saw Damian Priest so composed, so smooth. I really like this guy. I really hope the championship actually comes to him. In recent weeks, I thought he would be a very good North American champion, and the way the match started, I was thinking, yeah man, it's gotta be him, he's so cool. However, at the same time, I really loved Oney Lorcan. I just love the way he uses his body as like a battering ram and just throws his body at everything. Like, he was really good. And Ridge Holland, a really impressive debut as well. I never saw much of him in NXT UK, but maybe him moving to like NXT main roster, so to speak, they've got big plans for him, and he showed why he was called up in this triple threat. However, despite his performance, he was outside the ring when Damian Priest delivered the reckoning on Oney Lorcan and got the win. So Damian Priest, the first big name, I would say, in the ladder match. And given the news on what William Regal said this week, that Dexter Lumis is no longer in the match because of injury issues, we may possibly still see Johnny Gargano or Finn Balor added back to the match. So maybe more names are coming into this match to just build it up a bit. We had Cameron Grimes take on our champion Keith Lee in some non-title action. I guess this was Keith Lee getting a bit of revenge for Cameron Grimes' interference and just sticking his nose where it wasn't needed last week when Keith Lee was trying to address Karrion Kross. I wouldn't say this was much of a competitive match. Cameron Grimes got some stuff in, but Keith Lee was angry Keith Lee. And you know what I mean when I say angry Keith Lee. He wasn't smiling at all business, and he put away Cameron Grimes with an emphatic spirit bomb. It was crazy. I thought the ring was gonna break. After the match, Karrion Kross again came on our Titron and told Keith Lee, look, you haven't granted me what I want. Between you and Regal, sort it out. And meanwhile, whilst you're doing that, there is still going to be chaos going on. And you could see backstage that Karrion Kross had taken out Danny Burch. So next week, we're going to get Karrion Kross one-on-one with Danny Burch. Again, I live for Karrion Kross's entrance, so any chance to see him is good for me. It does look like we are on a collision course to see Keith Lee and Karrion Kross for the NXT title. I guess we are waiting for William Regal to just say when and where. Tegan Nox had a match against Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell came out very confident saying, your mate Shotzi Blackheart, I beat her. That was my first NXT win. But Tegan Nox wasn't having any of it. It was not really a competitive match. Indy Hartwell got some stuff in, but I guess we all knew anyway Tegan Nox was going to pick up the win here, and she did with the shiniest wizard. So another good outing for Indy Hartwell, but Tegan Nox picks up the win. And then yeah, we had the NXT Tag Team Championship match, Imperium versus Undisputed Era. I talked about the main thing that came out of the match, but I didn't really talk about the match earlier on. So yeah, the match was a good match. Obviously Imperium, Undisputed Era, these are good teams going up against each other. But if I'm completely honest, Pat McAfee stole the show just by stealing your attention with everything he was saying on commentary. You couldn't really focus on what was happening in the ring, and basically off the distraction of Adam Cole going over to the commentary booth to sort out Pat McAfee, that's when Bobby Fish got pinned. So Imperium retained their tag team championship. So guys, that is my NXT review for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, the main thing coming out was Pat McAfee and Adam Cole's confrontation. It looks like we're going to get a takeover match for these two. Not what I would have expected to see, not what I would want to see, but I think it's going to be a very interesting story in the next couple of weeks leading up to their possible match at TakeOver. Guys, if you enjoyed this review, please make sure you leave me a thumbs up, and if you are new here, welcome. Please consider subscribing, and if you do, hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.